In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can make a Koala Cooler, which is basically just a little packet for you to put an ice pack inside of. This is great for kids, might bring a smile to their face when they are sad about a bump or a bruise.
I also show you how you can make your own DIY ice pack using just 2 ingredients. My name is Anna, and on this channel you'll learn all kinds of DIY projects, all using socks. So let's get started on this tutorial. You'll need the following supplies. Head on over to funsockcity.com for all your sock needs, including the ones you'll need for this project.
Turn your sock wrong side out and lay it so that the heel is up. Straighten out the toe area, then take the toes and bring them up towards the heel. Don't come up onto the heel, just right up to the heel. And then trace those curves. Now you're gonna sew right on that curve that you traced. You can do this with a sewing machine or by hand. I'll be using my sewing machine. I have mine all sewn now, and I'm just gonna cut off this sock portion above that. And you wanna hold on to that because we'll still be using some of the sock later on. One of your sides is gonna have this toe seam. You can feel that. That's actually gonna be the back side. So figure out which side has that part. So mine is right here. So this is gonna be my back side. And I'm gonna pull this fabric up the center, separating it from the front. I'm gonna do a cut just straight across that center part. Plug in your glue gun because you'll be ready for that really soon. Go ahead and turn the sock right side out. Grab your elastic and your buttons. This side that has the cut is the back side right here. And we're gonna create the closures. And we're gonna do that in a really simple way by using 3 buttons. You can also use more if you would like that. And 3 pieces of elastic. My elastic pieces are about 2.5 inches long. And you can use whatever buttons you feel like would look good with this. And we're going to place the buttons equally across that opening that you cut and sew those in place. I'm using black thread since I have black buttons. And under each one where you want to put it, you'll just lock it into place. I'll move these off. I might start with the center one, and you lock that into place by pushing the needle in and then back out. And then before you pull this tailing thread tight, you push the needle between the 2 threads, or however many you have. Push it between them, and that just locks it in so that the thread won't pull loose through the fibers. And then once you've gone through a few times, go ahead and knot it off. And then go ahead and sew the other 2 in place as well. Once you have your buttons sewn into place, you can take your elastic and bringing these ends down and together. And then we're just going to pin them into place on this lower flap on the inside. Make sure they're all aligned. Mine aren't perfect, but honestly, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be kind of stretched out, and this elastic will pull over that button. So now attach those into place. I'm going to use my sewing machine, and I'm just going to double stitch a couple times over this place right here where they cross over. You can also hand sew them if you'd like. When you're ready to use it, you'll just close it up like this by putting the elastic over that button. Okay, now is the time to be decorating the front. I'll begin by cutting out the inner ear first. Cut those out. Mine are really faintly drawn on, so I don't know if the camera picks it up. So for the nose, you're going to trace that onto your felt, whatever felt color you choose. And it is really hard to see your tracing marks on the black also. And I'm going to do the eyelashes right now. I honestly just like to freehand the eyelashes. I put this on here in case there's anybody that likes the way that I did, but I like to freehand it because this is just a pain. So just do whatever you like for the eyelashes. You could do a different style. You could do that exact same style, whatever you want. To make it easier, I like to fold the felt, and I cut just the main shape of it first. And then I cut the eyelashes into it. And then separate them and cut the chunk out between each eyelash. And then I just make any adjustments that need to be made to make it look a little bit better. That's the hardest part right there. And then take the rest of the sock that you had and just cut it open because we're going to do a single layer of sock. Take the outer ear portion and trace that onto your sock. I'm going to double layer these so that it'll cut it out at the same time. So I guess cutting them apart was a little unnecessary. Now figure out which side is going to be your top. I'm going to use the more flat part as my top because the ears will kind of give it a little bit more dimension. Lay your pieces out to get an idea of where you're going to glue them. And we'll start with this inner and outer ear and glue these together before we do the other things. Put the hot glue onto the white, or onto the felt, and then press that onto your sock, kind of trying to center it in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. While those are cooling, grab the face and we'll put the nose into place. For the eyelashes, I like to just do a little strip of hot glue on this long strip and not worry about the small tiny pieces. Otherwise, I always end up getting burned. No, I did not put that in a good spot. Let that glue cool a little bit if you mess up and just try to kind of pull it off. I'm making some little adjustments to the ears. Imperfect cutting and tracing. Now I'm just going to run a piece of hot glue right on the bottom of here and press it right above the eyelashes. The same thing on this side. Now if you need, I'll show you how you can make a quick and easy DIY ice pack. To make your mixture, all you need is 2 cups of water and 2 tablespoons of salt. I've seen lots of other methods out there, but this one is the one that, 1, is the cheapest, and 2, I actually liked it the best. This one is nice because it doesn't get solid. It does solidify, but it still keeps its flexibility. All you need is 2 tablespoons of water and 2 cups of water. If you wanted to do a smaller amount, you could do 1 cup of water to 1 tablespoon of water. The ratio is 1 cup to 1 tablespoon. And then I have a baggie that I'm going to put it in, as well as some duct tape for just some added security. And just mix this until the salt is dissolved. Once that's all dissolved in there, get your bag ready. Now if you have freezer bags, that's probably better. These are just regular sandwich bags. And you want to squeeze out all of the air that you can. And take a paper towel so that you can wipe off any moisture that might have gotten on the outside. And I'm going to use duct tape to create just an added seal at the top. So I'm going to have it come down a little bit past the zipper. Press that into place. And I like to use one that's just slightly bigger because I'm going to wrap it around the sides. So do it on the opposite side. Squeeze everything together really tight and then fold that in. And hopefully that will prevent any water from leaking. Then go ahead and just put this in your freezer. It doesn't have to be flat because it still maintains some flexibility after you freeze it. Here's what that mixture looks like after being frozen for about 24 hours. Now this was my first batch that I made and I didn't put the tape around it, and so some of it did leak out. So this is a slightly smaller amount, but it's the same concept and it's really cold, but it's so flexible, which I love that. When you're ready to use it, I find it easiest to kind of roll it up and put it in here, and then use your little elastic closures, and you can put it right on any little bumps or bruises that your kids may have. If you want, you can just keep this whole thing in the freezer so that then it's all nice and cool when you're ready for it. The sock on the ice pack is great because it protects your skin from the extreme cold of the ice pack. If you like this, give us a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future tutorials. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.